Hi folks, DC here, DC's Gadgets Inspector. It's been a while since I've done any kind of a video or a blog entry, and I want to put something out there. I've been really busy, and I suppose if anybody knows me, that they'd have to say something like, so what else is new, right? But it's been busier than normal. It's March, we're still in the middle of swarm season, and lots of stuff going on. In fact, today is the...
After 200 yards, turn left.
Today's the 26th of March, and I'm actually leaving work right now on my way over to help someone pull bees out of soffit. No idea what we're going to run into when we get there, so we'll just kind of play it by ear. But I want to give an update on some stuff that's been happening. Last Saturday, let me go back a little bit more. A month and a half ago, I was in the shop on a Saturday morning, and I got an email from a guy out of Texas. Said he's with the Central Texas Beekeepers Association, and they have an annual beginner's beekeeper school. And he was inviting me to come speak at the school. So the first impression was, I'm reading this email, I'm thinking somebody's pranking me, because this doesn't happen. And so I checked into it, did some research, and this is really legit. This guy actually wanted me to come talk at the school, so I called him and we talked. And long story short, last weekend, me and Vicky flew over to Houston and then drove up to a place called Brenham. It's about 80 miles from Houston. And I did two talks on my gadgets, and we talked about the club and how we operate our club, kind of some of the unique things we do with no dues, and we give away bees. Small groups. I mean, the first group had 7 people in it, and the second group had 9. The whole thrust of this school is primarily for new beekeepers. And so the stuff I was talking about really wasn't for new beekeepers. In fact, most of the people that came in the class are actually like people involved in clubs already and whatnot. The interesting thing was, in the first class, traffic today here sucks at this intersection. In the first class, there was 2 guys in the class that I thought were sleeping. I couldn't tell. And so I just carried on and went with it. And unfortunately, I talk fast no matter what. I was a bit excited, first class, a little anxious. So I talked a little faster than normal. It was pretty quick. But anyway, these 2 guys I thought were sleeping through it, and I just plowed through anyway. Got done and went over where Vicky was. We had a table set up with my gadgets and some of Vicky's crafts on it. This guy came back over to the table and talked to me. He stood and talked for 35-40 minutes after the class, and he actually wasn't sleeping. He was paying attention. It was really good. He got some neat stuff out of it, and I got some stuff from him. So profitable and a good time. The second class was much better. I slowed down, more relaxed, a little more people, and a lot more interaction. The second group of people actually asked more questions in the classroom. So it was really good. Sold a bunch of stuff. Vicky sold some stuff.
After 400 yards, turn right.
I met some neat people. Some of the highlights. We flew in on Friday and got there Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock-ish, I guess, pretty close to 5 o'clock. And we were hungry, so Vicky wanted to go get a tablecloth to put on the table anyway for our crafts. So we went out, got something to eat, got a tablecloth, come back. We're setting our stuff up, and in the booth next to us was a lady whose name I cannot remember. I'm lousy with names, but the company was called Beeweaver. And they got a website, it's beeweaver.com. It's all one word, Beeweaver. So she was setting up her stuff, and she got this big fancy banner. It was probably 9 by 7, maybe 8 by 7. It was 7 foot tall. Could have been a little bit taller than that. At least 8 foot wide, probably 9 foot wide. Big banner. But I was helping Vicky set stuff up. Really wasn't super busy. I watched her for a little bit. She's sitting over there kind of scratching her head. She opens this box up and she pulls all the pieces out. And she's like a deer in the headlights type thing, looking at this stuff, trying to figure out how to put it together with no instructions. So I'll give you 3 guesses how it got put together. Yeah. So it got put together. It was fun. I met a guy Friday night, and then we talked for a while Saturday, a guy named E.T. Ash. I like people that have 2 initials for names. Mr. Ash is, he's an apiarist over at the Texas A&M University. Pretty neat guy, a lot of experience.
After 200 yards, turn left.
We talked for a while.
Turn right.
He was hoping that Dr. Rangel would be there, but she wasn't there. I did send her a package, though.
Turn right.
he saw the gadgets I had, and he said, they love these in the lab. So I sent Dr. Wrangle a package. Well, hope they can use them over there. That was pretty cool. Some things happen in life that we really don't pay attention to what's going on around us. We don't really notice the thing that happens until after the fact. You realize that something significant has happened. I mean, this happened with me. I mean, the frame fingers and the disc. I didn't set out to invent some gadget. I was doing something to make my life easier, and it turned into being something profitable. So along those lines, we were set up on this table by the cafeteria.
After 200 yards, turn right, then turn left.
It was premium real estate, really, where we were sitting at. There's lots of traffic. A lot of people came by and talked to us.
Turn right, then turn left.
The neat thing was the guy sitting on our right is a guy named Art Thomas. He's the owner of a company called At It Again Bees. And he sells bees and he sells queens. And
after 200 yards, turn left.
He's been breeding queens for almost as long as I've been alive. And so the guy's got a lot of information. So when I wasn't walking around talking to other people or doing talks, I sat there and listened to Art talk. Now they had, I'm not sure how many speakers there were. There were classes every hour. I think probably maybe 7 or 8 classes each hour. Some classes were 2 hours long. Art never had a formal class. But Art sat there in a chair and he made wax queen cups on a long piece of, he had a long stick with a bunch of dowels coming out. I think he had 15 or 16 dowels on it. He's dipping queen cups. And all day long people would come over and talk to him. And he told beekeeping stories and explained what he was doing. And that man taught classes all day long. He wasn't in a classroom, but he taught classes all day long. And I think he had an effect on people that weren't expecting it. And so it's one of those things that you don't really expect it to go on. You don't realize it's happening, but it's happening anyway.
After 200 yards, turn left.
So if nobody says
right.
Thanks to Art for the stuff he did, I want to say thanks, Art, because I sat there and listened to you talk, and you got a lot of knowledge. I mean, anybody who's been keeping bees for 55 years has got a lot of knowledge. But if nobody else appreciated the things he did,
turn right.
I mean, he had his table set up, and I think he had probably 15 jars of honey. I think he was there trying to sell honey. I'm not sure. He might have sold 2 jars. I know he was talking about that. He sold at least 1.
Yards, turn right, then turn left.
So he sold some honey, but the biggest impact he had was all day long, people would walk by his table and see him making stuff. He started out dipping wax queen cells. And then later in the day, he had a big frame wiring jig, and he was wiring up frames for the last, 2 hours of the day.
After 200 yards, turn left.
But he just sat there and shared bee knowledge with anybody who wanted to listen to bee knowledge. That's pretty cool. So those are highlights of the weekend. Had a lot of fun. I might go back again next year. We'll have to see how things go. But that's about all for now.